Hello, Steeler Nation, and welcome to your Steeler Nation podcast, sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. I'm your host, G.Stryker, and I'm still reporting live from Pennsic War at Cooper's Lake in Slippery Rock, PA, where the camp battles here involve swords, spears, and axes. I'm broadcasting yet again from the great Thurgood Blades knife smiths from Elgin, Texas, right here at Cooper's Lake. Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Instagram. I'll have the links on SteelerNation.com page. But first, we got to start talking about the big signings from Steeler Nation. 3 top-tier contracts in the past 2 years. T.J. Watt being the highest-paid linebacker and at the time defensive player, wins Defensive Player of the Year award. This year, Micah Fitzpatrick, highest-paid safety. Now we have the highest-paid kicker, matching Justin Tucker's $5 million a year, a 4-year extension, $20 million a year, $20 million total over 4 years for a $5 million a year contract for Chris Boswell, and that puts him on even footing with the best kicker in the league. I mean, we've got to think about this whole transition and how we stayed with Boswell after his 2018 season. I mean, 2017, he made the Pro Bowl. 2018, he missed 7 field goals, missed 5 extra points. Most teams would have cut that kicker. Steelers didn't. And the dividends paid out. Been one of the greatest kickers in the league since. Hit 8 for 9 last year on 50-yard plus field goals. Kicked the Steelers a record 59-yarder 2 years ago. Still adding to his accolades as being the 4th most accurate kicker in NFL history. Still building upon that, even after that 65% year that we just talked about in 2018. Boz is the man. And when we have an offense this year that is going to be run heavy, it's going to be defense heavy, every single point matters. Sign Boz. Make sure you get those long field goals. Make sure you get the easy money field goals and tack on those extra points. He's worth every cent. And I'm happy to have the Wizard of Boz back in black and gold for yet another 4 years. Moving on, we've got Diontae Johnson just signed a new contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers today. The holdout is officially over, signed a 3-year contract, and details are all over on the place on this one. We know the things that we do know, at least. It sounds like he's getting a $39.4 million contract. That has been reported. If that plays out over 3 years, that's only $13 million a year, guys. That's insane. We were thinking it more like the guaranteed money that he's supposed to be receiving, which is around $27 million, which is still only $13.5 million over 2 years. $19 million up front, which is on par with these big contracts that a lot of these guys have been getting. So that is some really exciting numbers. I mean, this is probably essentially going to be a 2-year contract, where in year 3, he'll start thinking about a holding again. Depends on how he does in these next 2 years. If the Steelers are going to lock him down to another big contract, or if that's going to be a holdout year or a trade year coming up for his 3rd year. But that's a problem for 2004 or 2024, because 22 and 23, he is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Our top receiver in the league is going to stay there. And we also have to see that it gives us the right amount of time also to see how is Claypool progressing? How is Austin progressing? How is Pickens progressing? Is DJ going to be an afterthought, or is he going to ingratiate himself so well in this defense like Antonio Brown did in his 2nd contract to give him a 3rd contract, being the only other multi-year contract given to a wide receiver since Antonio Brown? I know Juju got that 1-year contract as a free agent to come back for that extra year. But Diontae, it's officially here. So let's hear it directly from Diontae Johnson's mouth. How did he react to the new contract? He was stated as saying, the grass is not always greener on the other side. You know, I was thinking about that too. But at the end of the day, I love being a Steeler. You know, I love it here. But it changed my career here. Just being around my teammates, just being around the atmosphere and the energy that shows every day that you want to be around a group of guys like this each and every day. I feel like I made the right choice. I want to continue to be here for a long time. Also continues to say, I'm not worried about what everybody else is making, talking about all the other huge wide receiver contracts. God got me at the end of the day. This is the right deal for me. I was prepared to hold out until week 1, but I've been itching to get back out there. That's why I kept adding more reps with the quarterbacks and individuals before the deal got done. I mean, this isn't a guy that was sitting on his laurels. Sure, he was doing the hold-in situation like TJ Watt did the previous year, but he deserved that. He's done a good job for being connected throughout this entire process, and his train has left the station today in true Tomlinism fashion, welcoming DJ back to the fold. And what does he do today in practice? Comes back, stacks up Witherspoon on a deep ball for a long reception and huge cheers from the crowd, jumps up and skies over the middle for a high point play during sevens. And the guy's just an absolute amazing player. He is the best receiver on this roster, no question. So now we have to address the elephant in the room, Steeler Nation. A lot of you guys have been tweeting and talking and commenting here with our shows. DJ's a prima donna. He wants that big money. He wants that $24 million a season. Guy drops the ball too much. He only wants to be paid. He doesn't care about Pittsburgh. Guys, the best route runner in the NFL currently, according to separation off the first break, Pro Football Focus metric. That guy just signed to Pittsburgh for peanuts. With this crazy market, we have locked down the best receiver on our roster for a significant amount of time to help transition to our new quarterback of the future. That alone, just on its face value, is worth money in the bank. For all those you guys that would still want to attack his drops, still had less drops than Cooper Kupp, still had less drops than Hill last year. Nobody was looking to get rid of, well, Hill got traded. Nobody's looking to get rid of Cooper Kupp this year. Diontae Johnson is not getting rid of either. He's staying a Steeler. He was prepared to hold in until week 1, but he didn't want to. I mean, we've been talking about the show at the beginning of the season. We thought he wanted to sign for 14. Then he said 16 to 18. Then the receiver started getting 20 to 25 mil a year. And what does he sign? According to the numbers that we have now, we got to see how it's officially comes out. The Steelers have not officially put it out at this time yet, but I can't wait to see what the actual numbers are right now, because it's sounding right now like it's about 13.5 mil a season. Peanuts. That is not a diva. That is not a prima donna. That is a Pittsburgh Steeler. So get over it, Steeler Nation. We've got a Pittsburgh Steeler locked down for way under value, way under anything I thought he was going to sign for. He is here. He's committed to the team like we are committed to our team. So now it's time to get on the Diontae Johnson is the best receiver for us bandwagon, because the Diva bandwagon is derailed and off the rails for good. Guys, now's your chance. Total Sports Enterprises, our proud sponsor, is now giving away a signed Diontae Johnson Color Rush jersey. Make sure you go over to their Twitter at Total Sports ENT. Follow them. Follow Steeler Nation. Follow the podcast and follow the Terrible Tailgate. All you have to do is follow all 4 and retweet that tweet, and you're automatically entered to win a Diontae Johnson signed Color Rush jersey. Make sure you're on the ball on that right now, guys, because that is amazing info right now. And you are the first to know it, my friends here, even watching the podcast live as I'm posting it to YouTube. And Minkah Fitzpatrick is back in the fold, Steeler Nation. He has returned to practice. Didn't actually practice today, but he is officially off of the NFL injury report. So the guy that fell off the bike is back on the bike again. With that, he healed wrist. I know some reports saying he was participating in practice, but our team is on site. They stated he was in the center of the field holding a clipboard, did not practice at all today, but he is off of the non-football related injury list Probably going to be returning to practice very soon, and I expect Friday to be his first practice. Interesting stuff happening in practice here Thursday. Cam Sutton appears to have had a low body injury. He was looking and being evaluated for that. We hope it's not serious. KZ was getting his wrist looked at. I hope that is not serious as well. Chaz Green was also carted off the field today. We don't know if that's leg related. Hopefully it was heat related. It was a really hot one today. A lot of people going down with some dehydration issues, with some heat issues. Hopefully that's all it is. He comes back again quickly. And moving on from the injuries, Anthony McFarland finally starting to show up in practice, flashing his talent, both as a receiver, both as a runner, down the field, making plays, ripping off a long touchdown run and the fully padded running session today. Guy has all the talent in the world. If he can put it together healthy, this guy is going to rocket back up the backup list. Might be the number 2 running back going into this season, as he was supposed to be last season before he tweaked that ankle and ended up being thrown on IR for a bit and kind of derailed that season. So I'm looking forward to him getting to show what he can do again, making these plays in this Matt Canada offense that he knows how to make, and making plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterback competition is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Day after Pickett took number 2 snaps and reps and Rudolph dropped to number 3, Rudolph was taking the 1 reps. And he did really well in the 1 sets. And Trubisky was the 2 that day. Then on Thursday, Pickett just balled out. His best practice to date, splitting 2 and 3 reps with Mason Rudolph. It seems like the quarterback competition is finally starting to heat up. There's finally some rotation going on with quarterbacks within the first team, the second team, and third team reps. That gets really excited, Steeler fans. I know we all have our horses and dogs in the race on who you want: Trubisky, you want Rudolph, you want Pickett to start the season. This is our time to start putting up and betting to see who's going to be the guy as it starts moving down here toward it. But Rudolph is starting to come off as of late. But watch out, Pickett's starting to make a stretch run down here on that final turn. Maybe he's going to start throwing into the mix for trying to get some 1 reps as well. And Steeler Nation, I know I don't normally do this, but I'm now going to go to some questions here from Steeler Nation to see what you guys think of what's going on here and take questions from our streamers as we are watching them. So we've got Robertson Burrow out there. Hey, Stryker, Steelers need to be bold and trade for a starter capable nose tackle because the chance of Alu making it through the year without injury is too small not to make it. Great point. I know we've been discussing this back and forth, Robert, and I'm in complete agreement with you. We do have to solidify that nose tackle position. I know we do have Adams back there, and he was improving last season. I know we've got the undrafted rookie free agent starting to make some plays as well. We've got Costin in the mix. Might have a Lodikin in the mix as well if he starts doing some team reps. He's only been working on individual reps as of now. But we at least have a lot of players in the mix for opportunities. We all know it's not going to be Cam Hayward ever again. But that's just the way it goes on the field. And we know, you and I both know, that this run defense is way better with Tyson Alualu on the field than without it. And if they don't address that, that could be a huge aspect to derailing how awesome this defense is going to be this year at getting after quarterbacks, at playing on the back end, and the linebackers getting more powerful on the inside now with a 3 linebacker rotation with Spillane, Bush, and Jack. And we have all-world player Watt ripping down people, Cam Hayward ripping down people on the other side. Wormley set a record with 7 sacks last year. Lodikin set a record with 7 sacks, personal record with 7 sacks last year. So we have 2 sack-capable people coming off the edge on the left end side. And Highsmith coming up with a bullet, being a training camp darling this year. Let's see these guys all make some plays here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I thank you all, Pittsburgh Steelers and Steeler Nation. Make sure you follow our sponsor, Total Sports Enterprises. Go to their shop online, tseshop.com. Follow that tweet. Again, at Total Sports ENT. Get that free signed Color Rush Diontae Johnson jersey because it's still going to be active for another 3 years, guys. That's it. Vidcast usually going to be Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube, www.youtube.com/Steeler Nation, to be the first to know about it and to be in the know and watch us as we do it live. Read our great Pittsburgh Steeler-focused articles at SteelerNation.com. Tweet us at Steeler Nation, Instagram and Facebook, SteelerNation.com. Follow the podcast at _SN Podcast on Twitter, Steeler Nation Podcast on Instagram, and Steeler Nation Stryker is all over the social media at SN Stryker, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. That's how you find me. Thank you for joining us for another Steeler Nation vidcast sponsored by Total Sports Enterprises. I am your host, G.Stryker, rooting along with you as always. Go Steelers!